Welcome back to the Passport Pals podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Olivia.
And we're the Passport Pals.
We're going rogue once again.
We are.
The jury's still out for Josh, but I think I prefer a hold.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like it, but the arm's kind of nice. My arm was getting tired.
Oh.
A bit after holding it the last episode, but I'm trying another episode holding the mic.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Well, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It has been a week.
It's okay. Let's pretend we're back in Europe for the summer.
That's what we're planning on doing, actually, yes.
So today is the continuation of our multi-part series of Euro Summer. Go listen to all our previous episodes if not, but today we are going to Florence and Venice, Italy.
Woohoo!
Exciting times. So, should we get right into it?
Let's do it.
All right, so we left you guys off. We're at the train station in Rome heading to Florence. Okay, so this train ride, we sat somewhere weird. So because we were having so many traumatic train experiences, we were Googling what trains have like luggage racks and where they are. So the internet pretty much said, like in the first car, there's typically a luggage rack. So we boarded towards the front and there was no luggage rack on this train, but there was this like little area where people were putting their luggage, and we threw our luggage there and sat on these like benches. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember.
It was kind of crazy, but we didn't want to leave our luggage unattended.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to lug it back with all the other seats. So we're like, we'll just sit up here. This is fine.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a weird time.
What a time.
And then we took that next train.
Yes, and then we had to do a transfer of some sorts, and we were sitting with these like local people were like talking to us the whole time, and this lady came and like inserted herself in between us.
Yeah, and she like was like, "Can I plug in my charger?" But the port was like in between my legs. And I was like, "Oh, of course. Please be my guest." And that she did.
Yeah.
She was my guest.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you.
And then I think on this train ride, there was somebody like lost, and we were trying to help like them know what stop to get off, but we also didn't know where they should be getting off, but they didn't know English or Italian or anything. Everybody was confused trying to help this person. And
yeah.
It was a crazy train ride
from
Rome to Florence.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But we got there again kind of later.
Yeah, we did get there later in the day. And once we arrived at the train station, we were staying kind of outside of Florence city center. We weren't really in the thick of it.
Yeah, so we had to take this like little monorail type deal. Yeah. It was like a little trolley car meets monorail meets public transport subway type situation. Yeah. But we had to buy tickets and we had to get them validated, which was like a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
But we got off on our silly little stop. And it was a little scary.
It was, because we were like in the middle of nowhere, it seemed. There was nobody around. It was just kind of like eerie.
It was like industrial too. It was very peculiar.
Yeah. And I was looking at a map preparing for this episode to try and get a sense of where we were staying near. It was close to the airport. So if you're looking at a map in Florence, it was pretty much right outside the airport.
I would have never been able to tell you.
I didn't know we were near the airport also, so we weren't hearing planes and stuff, but looking at a map of where we stayed, it was a lot closer to the airport than like the city center.
Yeah. And then we got to our Airbnb and we thought we had been scammed.
Yeah.
So we walked from the little trolley area to our Airbnb,
which was a little hike, maybe 10 minutes with all of our luggage, 4 suitcases again, if you're following.
Yeah. In case you forgot, we had 4 suitcases, like idiots. So we lugged all of our stuff there and we stood out there and it started raining. And we were there for probably 45 minutes to an hour before
at least an hour,
our host like responded.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm on the way." And then she came and this cutesy little lady pulls up in her cutesy little scooter. Okay. And she's like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Okay, slay." And then we got into the building and there was this sketchy elevator that could only hold so much at a time. So she was like,
with all of our suitcases and everything.
She was looking at all of us and our suitcases. She was like, "That's not going to work." So you went up alone with our 2 big suitcases, and then she and I went with our tiny suitcases. Man, was it crazy.
It was crazy. And it was on like the top floor
Yeah,
almost. So
and I think the building was under construction or something. And she was like, don't mind that. And wasn't it like all the lights were off in the hallways? So the elevator had this tiny, tiny window. And as you were going up, if you looked out the window, these long hallways were dark.
Yeah.
And you were like, where am I going? And we went up to like the 5th floor, I think, of this building on this scary elevator.
Yeah.
And she let us into the Airbnb.
I mean, it was a nice Airbnb, like the Airbnb itself.
The Airbnb was fine. We'll kind of get into this. I was a little spooked, like for no good reason, really. Like the Airbnb was fine, but I was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, had just the heebie-jeebies. I was like, I just don't feel right about this. And like, one thing about me, fun fact for our fans, LOL, is like, my gut is really never wrong. I just had the heebie-jeebies. Something was off about it.
Well, thankfully nothing went wrong, but yeah, I forgot you were like weirded out.
Yeah, I was spooked. I was a little spooked, but it was cute. It was fine. Yeah. It was fine. She was so nice.
Yeah.
Like the lady, the host was incredible. She was the sweetest little lady. But we got in.
We did eventually
got
after
settled.
a long while. And again, it was another long travel day. So guess where we ate dinner?
We found the most local McDonald's.
Of course, yes. And again, have more chicken wings. They had these like nacho cheese fries. Incredible. So yeah, McDonald's, the Golden Arches called us because again, it was late. We were in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't even any restaurants around if we wanted it to
I think that was our primary issue, is that like the little trolley thing had been cut off for the night, and the
we were not in civilization really. It was just all like apartment buildings.
It was so weird. It was like literally like industrial.
Do not recommend staying near the airport
or
wherever we were.
It was weird.
Yeah. But then that was pretty much it for that. And now we only have one day here in Florence.
So this was interesting. So we woke up and we had like a little terrace, like a little balcony type situation. Walk out and it was freezing.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were like bundled. Okay. It was like 62 degrees outside. We were ready to conquer our day in the chill of the air. Get out of the Airbnb, onto our little trolley, into central Florence. We had been walking around for maybe 10, 20 minutes, right? And we were like, it's hot.
Oh, yeah. I remember this now.
Yeah, and I was in like a sweater and like a turtleneck, thinking it was going to be 60 degrees all day. Because it had said it was going to be like the high was like 70.
Did we go back and change?
We did.
I forgot about this, but now you're jogging my memory.
We went back on the trolley, returned to our industrial Airbnb.
Like an hour U-turn, which was needed, but it was just crazy.
Yeah, because we would have been miserable otherwise. You had your big bulky jacket. I was in a big bulky sweater, looking like idiots, walking around with everyone in like tank tops and shorts.
I forgot about this.
Yeah. But mind you, like it said it was going to be cold all day. And we were like, what is this? Well, it wasn't cold.
No.
So then we got changed.
Round 2.
Took our trolley back to Florence.
And then we got coffee at this like random cafe, like in some hotel right off the tram stop. Because we just needed something.
Yeah.
Again, we're just trying to get something to keep us going.
A little pastry.
And then we ended up in the square and saw the big main church in Florence.
The Duomo.
Yes. Which was really cool and incredible. The building was just so intricate.
Cool.
And yeah.
It looks like, if you don't know what the Duomo is, look it up. But you'll know exactly what the Duomo is. But it looks like it was in like a sketch. Like it looks like it was sketched out and thrown on a building. And it's so cool the way it looks.
Incredible.
Like 2D but 3D at the same time, because it is obviously 3D. But it was fantastic to see in person for the first time.
Yeah. And then now today here in Florence, we only had one day. We did a lot of eating. We didn't really have many sights. Again, if you listen to our last episode, the statue of David was on our list, but the 4-hour wait turned us away.
Yeah.
So then we pretty much just did a lot of eating. We got those sandwiches that we kind of teased in the last episode. The place, again, I'm going to butcher it. I'll put it on the screen so you can read it. I Girone de Giotti, was the name of the sandwich shop.
I don't know what it was called. I had a biblical experience there. Amazing.
It was incredible.
Amazing. Best sandwich I've ever eaten in my life.
I don't know what they could have done to jazz up a sandwich, but the bread, the meats, the toppings, it was just all incredible.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Go here. If you're in Florence, eat this sandwich.
Truly.
Definitely
it changed
better,
our lives.
way better than the viral sandwich in Rome.
Yeah. So much better. So much better. It was like toasty. And oh my God. It was so good.
The vibes were just good in there. It was kind of like a homey building. There was a little upstairs where we ate. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it was just cool.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was so precious.
And then we got the famous affogato.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Vivoli.
Oh. Oh,
This
my God.
was healing.
Yes. Take me back to Vivoli. If you're going to Florence, you have to go to Vivoli.
Oh my God. The best, creamiest, thickest, richest. I don't know. It was incredible. And it looked cool too, the way they carve it on. Maybe I'll put a picture on the screen, but they like carve out a square in the ice cream and the mug, and it just looks cool. It tastes amazing.
I feel like that's the whole reason it kind of went viral.
Because it looks very
is
aesthetic.
Because it was so aesthetically like, and you see them doing it, and it looks like butter. The ice cream is so smooth. It looks like they're filling a cup with butter, and then they pour the fresh affogato. Oh wow, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Oh, that sandwich and that affogato. Oh, I'd go back just for that.
Yeah, I do. Like, wish we had spent more time in Florence.
I feel like we both had a negative connotation to Florence, and I think part of the reason is because of where we stayed.
I agree.
To be quite frank, because we just weren't in it.
We weren't.
And it just took a while to get in it. And again, we only had a day, but I think staying so far outside of the main city center kind of really put a damper on things.
I am, however, getting emotional thinking about like the views.
Yeah. So we still had a great day, but there was kind of just like something dampened the experience.
Yeah, I think just the process of our Airbnb really.
Yeah. But the food was so good. Also, after affogato, we went to the famous wine window.
Oh, yes. That was so cool.
Because apparently there's like hundreds of wine windows in Florence, because way back when, during the Prohibition, when alcohol was banned, they sold wine through windows. But it was cool. It was a cool experience. You got a Aperol Spritz. I got some wine. I was hesitant to get an Aperol Spritz just because we had a couple throughout our Italy trip, and I wasn't a fan. I don't know. It wasn't hitting.
See,
but your Spritz was really good.
I'm not a big wine girl, but I love a Spritz. So I was like, and the menu is really limited because of, you know, the wine window, and it's busy, and they want to get people in and out quickly. So I think there were only like 4 things you could get on the menu.
Yeah, there was like white, red, rosé. There was an orange, and then the Spritz. I got the orange wine, but I really wish I got the Spritz. It was really good.
I don't know what they did to it, because I was not a fan of the Aperol Spritz, but I was like, when in Florence, like you have to get you have to get something. So I got it just to get it, and I was like, I'm not even gonna drink it. Let me tell you, I drank that Aperol Spritz.
I was so jealous because my wine, it was just wine, but I had so many bad Aperol Spritzes. I'm like, I'm sick of this. I can't have another one.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm dreaming about it.
It was, yeah,
so good.
And the wine window we went to, it was called Bebe. So,
period.
Yeah. Now another thing we missed when we were here, we saw it, and then later on, we were talking to someone about going to Florence, and they're like, "Oh, did you see this?" We were like, "No." And we're like,
and then we have pictures sitting in front of it. She's like, "How did you not go?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about it." And she was like, "Yeah, you went." And I was like, "No, I don't think we did." And then you were like, "Wait. Didn't we? We went to those bridges." Yeah. And I was like, "What are you talking about? We literally have pictures in front of them, and we had no idea." This is another thing that I think we need to go back to Florence because there is so much history in Florence that we didn't know about and that we didn't research, just because of the time limits, the time constraints that we had. But I do think that the negative connotation we both had towards Florence was because of the place we stayed. Because thinking about it now, I'm thinking about it with such fond memories. I want to go back right now.
I know, but yeah, we had a lot of good, but there was just this cloud over it. I don't know. But yeah, the Ponte Vecchio. We missed that.
Completely. We had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah.
And then
that's us not knowing history and not researching our destination.
Now, the whole reason we even got there, though, is because my literal only one request was I wanted to go to this jewelry maker. Okay? It was this elderly man who made jewelry out of his home. And I wanted a nice piece of beautiful jewelry to take home with me from our trip to Italy, because I collect jewelry. I wear jewelry literally everywhere on my body. If there's a place that I can wear jewelry, I'm wearing it. And I wanted a nice piece of, handcrafted jewelry. So we walked
across town,
probably an hour we walked to get to this one destination that I wanted so desperately to go to. Imagine my utter shock when I go looking for his little doorbell and there's a little piece of paper over it that says, "So sorry, closed today, come back tomorrow."
And this was our only day here.
Devastating.
Yeah, it was really sad.
Devastating. It was, maybe that was part of the damper. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was sad.
That was really sad.
But we kept on keeping on nonetheless.
We did. And then we just walked around the city, saw some things, like did some shopping. And then eventually we decided, like, there's this park that everybody goes and watches the sunset.
Yes.
So we're like, let's go do that. But in doing so, it's a hike because it's perched up on this cliff.
And when we say hike, we mean a literal hike.
Yeah. So it's called Piazzale Michelangelo. And it was so cool once we got there. There were so many people just having a good time, taking in the views of the city, the sunset, whatever.
The vibes make me emotional.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about the way that it felt being there makes me so emotional, because it was so gorgeous. The sunset was beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone was drinking a little Aperol Spritz and hanging out with their friends and just taking in Florence, and you can see the top of the Duomo, and you could see the whole city. And if you turned to the other side, turned around, you could see these beautiful rolling green hills and Tuscan Italy looking. Oh, it makes me literally emotional. I'm going to start crying thinking about it because I want to go back so bad.
Yeah, it was incredible. But we were also racing against the sun because we decided to do this pretty close to sunset.
Last minute, yeah.
And then we're running up the side of this mountain.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Quite literally running.
But it was cool. The views were worth it, but it was quite the hike. Plan ahead and be ready to walk.
Yeah, and there's stairs.
People line up and sit. By the time we got there, they were all full because we were racing against the sun.
Yeah, so we were just sitting at the top of the stairs, just taking in the energy and the vibes and the views. But oh my God, it was just stunning. Stunning to see Florence from that kind of angle.
It was incredible.
Oh my God, I could cry. Oh my God, it makes me emotional. I want to go back.
Yeah. So as we made our hike back down, you really had to pee. And again, we've covered no bathrooms.
Yeah.
And you're ready to pee your pants. And we were Googling. There was nowhere that we could really go. So we stumbled upon this bar Zoe. Shout out to my sister.
Yeah.
But it was the only thing there. So we stopped and had a drink solely because
I literally thought I was about to go in my pants. I told Josh, I was like, we have to pull over. Find me an alley.
And there was nowhere.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
It was so bad.
But thankfully, Bar Zoe saved us.
Yeah. It was disgusting in there.
Yeah.
Would I have done it again? Yes. But it was a traditional bar bathroom.
But we stopped, had a drink.
But we had to be patrons.
Yes.
They were like, you can use our bathroom, but you have to buy something. And I was like, Josh, start a tab.
I'll take one for the team if I have to, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, get a drink because I'm going. I don't care. I'm going. So
we did that, and then slowly we're making our way back. Now, there was this vintage photo booth you really wanted to try.
Yeah, it was viral. And in case you didn't know, I guess Florence is their study abroad location.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people always go to Florence for study abroad.
No idea. But Florida State, actually, my university, their study abroad location is there. So all these like Florida State girlies were finishing their semester, their study abroad semester, and they're like standing outside this photo booth and they're like, it's not gonna work. It won't work. And I'm like, you're killing my vibe. Spoiler alert, it didn't work.
But we paid and sat through it and sat there for maybe like 20 minutes waiting for it to print. Because like one person ahead of us got one.
But it took them a while to get theirs. But
and then there was like 4 other people before us who had gone. So it literally, if we waited, it probably printed, but like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Because it was on a delay of some sort.
I'm sure it was just an overdrive. So
yeah.
I guess the way that the girlies were saying is that you have to wait until the person before you prints until you go, before you go in. Because it like can't collect that many photos at the same time. But thankfully we took a video of us inside of it.
Yeah.
Like while we like with our phone, we took a video of us taking the pictures inside, thankfully, so that we have the memes.
Yeah.
But I would have killed to have those pictures. Hopefully in our next Euro trip, there's quite a few that I want to go to. So
hopefully one will work.
Hopefully one of those will, work properly and we'll get our little European pictures. But nonetheless.
Then we ended out our night. Now we had to have dinner somewhere.
We didn't.
We did.
No, we did
2
not.
nights in a row, the same McDonald's. Now, to be fair, we had tried to eat somewhere like local in Florence, and there was a couple places we wanted to try, like these pasta places, but they were all closed by the time we were made it to like go eat.
Oh my God, I didn't even remember.
So we had McDonald's again for dinner.
Enough.
Yeah.
That's kind of iconic.
It is.
I love that.
Yeah. So we went back to our little McDonald's in our little industrial town, and that was that for Florence pretty much.
Yep.
Then the next day we had to travel to Venice. So we gathered all of our multiple belongings, took the tram to the train station, and then again we had a little time before our train. So we're like, let's get a coffee at this little cafe in the train station. Well, we had some issues.
Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, they were so stinky meany.
They were mean, and we had ordered coffees, and it was just came out as a cup of milk, and they were like, "You're stupid," basically, and we're like, "No."
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure we did it wrong.
Yeah,
but
also like, we ordered the same thing, and mine had coffee, and yours was just a cup of milk.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what happened, but it was just crazy and awful, and they were mean.
Yeah, and then we tried to tell them, and I was like, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And
I just
they were
need
nasty.
a shot of espresso, please.
Yeah, I was like, just give me a shot of espresso. And they were so nasty to me. They were like, well, you didn't order it right in the first place, so. And I was like, okay, but I'm trying to pay for an espresso shot. Like, just give me a little espresso. Yeah, they were mean there.
Yeah, so it was not the best start to the day.
No.
But the day kept getting worse from there. We had train troubles.
Oh my gosh.
This was probably, besides the first train we ever took in Italy with all the luggage and the people, this was by far, maybe even worse, just differently.
See, at this point, we thought we had it down pat.
We did. We were like, oh yeah, we mastered the train, blah, blah, blah. But then when we went to go on this train, they kept changing the location of where it was leaving from. And then all of a sudden, the train left in 5 minutes, and it was on the complete other side of the station.
Yeah, we were running.
We were literally running 4 suitcases in tow.
And we barely made it. We were like probably the last 2 people to get on that train.
And we were after it was supposed to leave, but for whatever reason, the train was delayed.
Yeah,
so.
And the conductor was like, come on, hurry up, like yelling at us as he saw us running. And I'm like...
We were literally sprinting. It was terrible.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way we're going to miss this train.
And we had already paid for the tickets, and we couldn't have gotten them refunded. So it would have been a big to-do. But thankfully we made it, but we almost died in the process. We did have a transfer, but then had we missed this and then took the next train out, we would have missed our next transfer, and that was a long one. And it was a whole
yeah. It was a long ride, though. I think it was like 5 hours.
Yeah, because we were going from Florence to Venice, which Venice was on the complete other side. So yeah. But thankfully, that long train ride was probably one of the nicest trains we were on. Like, it was roomy. It was a half-empty car. There was room for our luggage.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
So thankfully we ended up
Good
on a
views.
nice train. Yeah. So the train ride itself was nice once we made it. But then we made it to Venice.
We did.
And then again, here we were staying outside of Venice. It didn't bother me this much this time. I mean, it was still quite the process to like go and get into Venice. But staying outside of Venice this time didn't bother me as much as in Florence.
I was bothered. It was too much of a process to get to Venice. And especially with what limited time we had, we got back to our Airbnb really late and we had an early morning the next day. And then we had to be somewhere important the next day. So the like stress of getting into Venice was like, what are we going to do? Yeah, I don't know. I wish we would have stayed in Venice because obviously it's like a little island. So we had to take a train, like a tram, to get there, which was just a process. But so we got to our Airbnb. We had to take a tram one way to our Airbnb. Met the little host. She was nice as well. But anyways, we made it to Venice. We had to take a tram to our Airbnb in the little town, whatever we stayed in. Got to our Airbnb. And then pretty much immediately went back out and took the tram back now into Venice. We had to pay an access fee because over the summer they charge like a fee to enter city.
Venice.
Yeah.
Just like a tourist tax basically.
And then we had to take a boat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now Venice is all canals. If in case you didn't know, Venice is literally a city on the water. It is a little island. And it's very difficult to manage.
And we didn't take a gondola because those were buku bucks.
Yeah.
But there is a public taxi, water taxi, which was still kind of cool. Like we got to see like the island and
yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. And I liked it. It was fairly easy to use, I think. So I did like the water taxi. But we got there and we went right to St. Mark's Square, I think.
Yes, St. Mark's Square.
The famous square. They got the big tower. There's also the Basilica of St. Mark.
If you've ever been to Epcot, it looks the same.
Epcot Tower,
but it's
in
cool
real life
to see it in person. Yeah, we were like, oh my gosh.
We're in Epcot. So we just walked around, saw the sights a bit. And then we were eating dinner at this restaurant called Ristorante Florida, funny enough. And it was right by the main area by the Rialto Bridge. I always think of the Spider-Man movie when I see that bridge.
Yes, exactly.
But it was right in that main canal with the main bridge.
No McDonald's tonight. There was not an option.
We were eating at a restaurant right on the water. Again, this was also like a touristy restaurant, but the food was actually really good.
The food, oh my God.
It was some of the best food I've ever eaten.
I think it was the best food we ate the whole trip.
Yeah, hands down. The views, we had a table literally right on the water's edge.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, service, food. They had this like spicy balsamic vinegar for your bread. We've been dreaming of it ever since.
I took a picture of it because I wanted to buy it in the States and like literally it doesn't exist here. So I need to get back to Europe and buy bottles of it. Remind me.
It was incredible.
Oh my God. Now, best food, best service, incredible atmosphere, fantastic, beautiful, great experience. Baby, it came at a cost. Our meal came out to like a whopping $140.
Yeah.
Euro. A whopping 140 euro.
And with this restaurant, you had to pay a deposit to even book a reservation for €25 a person. So, of course, it comes off the bill. But that was just something interesting. Like, and if we didn't show up and we were like running late to our reservation, we're like, are we going to be out €50 if we don't make it?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So, yeah. Although the food was amazing and I would have loved to have food like that the entire trip, I would not have been willing to pay €60 a person every single night. So, I'm glad we did it though. And I'm glad we did it in Venice.
Yeah, it was just the vibe. And it was like sunset when we were eating.
It was beautiful. The gondolas were right there.
Yeah.
Right on the water going past us.
It was incredible.
It was so lovely.
Highly recommend.
The food was so good. And then we got gelato at...
We did Susu.
Susu. Very famous.
And again, incredible.
Very
All the
worth
gelato
it.
Was amazing. But then at this point, we were winding down. We did some souvenir shopping, and we're slowly making our way back to the edge of Venice, where we had to catch the tram back to the mainland. Now, we caught the tram from Venice to the mainland, but once we got back, the local tram was no longer running.
And our Airbnb was like...
Was far.
Yeah. So then what did we do?
Well, we were like, okay, let's call an Uber. We know it's going to be Uber Black because we're in Italy, whatever. But we're stranded. So we call an Uber. And this big Sprinter van shows up.
I was losing my mind. For two of us, I was losing my mind. It was a Mercedes-Benz van. Huge.
It was incredible.
It was huge. It was hilarious. It was iconic. And we whipped it to our tiny little Airbnb in this tiny little town with this Mercedes van, bus, whatever.
It was incredible. I was eating it up.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. It was expensive, but it was funny.
So you can plan better, I guess, if you're using local transport. Maybe pay attention to the times.
Yeah, it was late though. Like
Yeah.
it was probably like 11 at that point.
I guess probably. So it was really late, but yeah. That's pretty much it for Venice. Again, it was probably one of our favorite spots, but we only had a day, so I wish we did get to spend more time in Venice. But I'm glad we at least got to go and at least see it, even if for a couple hours.
Yeah. Now, I don't really know what else there would have been to do in Venice.
Well, there just would have been more. I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, there is a lot we missed.
Yeah.
But more, I guess, more eating, seeing. We have friends we made on our cruise. There's this little island right off of Venice with all these like colorful houses, and they had spent a couple days there, so they went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something cool to do. But yeah, I know, just immersing ourselves more in the culture, I guess. But even just if I was sitting on a canal drinking a coffee or having a gelato, I could have done that for 2 more days.
Yeah. I want to go back to Italy so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it for our time in Venice and our time for our land-based Italy vacation. We had just spent 10 whole days in Italy. Now, we were supposed to spend like 2.5 weeks in Italy, but we added on this cruise going to Greece. So we had already booked all of our flights. We had already planned out we're going to do like 4 days in each city instead of like 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, okay, well, what if we go to Greece instead? So then we booked the cruise and then had to readjust our whole itinerary. So that's why we didn't get to spend so long in certain places, because we had a cruise that we had to make leaving out of Venice.
Would have done it 100 times again.
Yeah, I know. It was all incredible, but that's why we kind of had the time constraints, because we're trying to catch a cruise to Greece. So
that left out of Venice.
yeah, which is just incredible. That sentence in and of itself.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
Yeah. But so stay tuned for next week. Our episode is going to be about our Greek Isles cruise on board the MSC Sinfonia. Stay tuned for that. A lot of fun was had there going to Greece. I thought we were going to Italy was crazy enough, but then we went to Greece. Insane.
It was insane.
But before we end off the episode, we wish you guys were here. Again, every Friday, we ask you guys to submit any travel opinions, thoughts, questions, anything, and we react to them right here on the podcast. Leave your submissions at passportpalspodcast.com. So we have stuff to talk about. I think we have quite a few submissions.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm so excited.
Okay, we only have 2, but that's more than we had last week.
No, perfect.
Thank you for submitting, and everyone else, please keep submitting.
Yes.
So, of course, friend of the pod, Thompson, has submitted.
Hi, Thompson.
Thank you, Thompson. But Thompson says, just after hearing your story of craft time becoming a ticketed event, I witnessed my own craft time gone wrong. A midday craft time making paracord bracelets was far more popular than planned. Standing room only. Murmurs of surprise that such a popular activity would take place on a sea day instead of a port day. The cruise activity team arrives and confirm everyone's fear. In order to include everyone, we will be making keychains instead of bracelets. That's devastating. This was not what the octogenarians had been staking their seat out for. Boos erupt. Cruise line name sucks, heckles one retiree. Oh, I like this. We can't hear you, heckles 10% of the crowd. F this, screams a man as he throws his barely knotted paracord bracelet across the room. I'm going to guest services, threatens another as they storm out the daytime nightclub space. I left with memories, chuckles, and a poorly knotted piece of rope.
That's iconic.
That is kind of... But who knew craft time on cruise ships was so crazy?
I didn't realize. I love a good craft. Like, don't get me wrong. However, most of the time, it's really bad. Like, most of the time, it's like, make this cube out of paper. I'm like, I could do this at home.
Paracord bracelet is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But... So maybe I would have been in there throwing it.
Yeah, true. But I would have been just as happy with a keychain.
Yeah,
if everyone gets
true.
to participate. I wouldn't be... F this, I'm going to get services. I'd be like, okay, give me mine.
Yeah, as long as I can do something.
I don't care. Wow, Thompson. Thank you for sharing.
You for that, but that is crazy. All right, last but not least, again, please leave more submissions, passportpalspodcast.com. But Heath says, I have my own personal hot take and would like to hear your opinions on it.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait. I typically cruise 2 to 3 times a year. I do one all-out cruise, 7 to 8 days on larger ships with better, more exotic ports, all out on formal night, all the photos, excursions, you name it. Then I do 1 to 2 shorter cruises that are 4 to 5 days, always on smaller ships and only going to basic ports like Nassau or Cozumel. I always end up having a better time and feel more relaxed on the shorter, cheaper cruises. I'm not sure if I get myself all hyped up for the big one and end up feeling a little disappointed, or if the smaller cruises are just easier with less pressure. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think we have a 7-night cruise coming up.
On a big ship.
And I already am anxious.
Yeah, the
versus,
FOMO.
Like, we have other tinier ones booked that I'm like, heck yeah, I can't wait to be back on a ship. Mm-hmm. So I definitely agree. I think that the FOMO eats me alive, and the like fear of not living up to my expectation also eats me alive, and maybe just like the go hustle and bustle of it all gets me.
I agree. Yeah, just the big ships. I always used to, whenever I've been on a big ship, I was always sad getting off. Whereas like if I'm on a smaller, older cruise to the Bahamas, like I feel fulfilled when I get off.
Right, like you got what you
out
want.
of this, what I wanted. But on a big ship, it's like, oh, I didn't get to go zip lining.
Right.
I didn't eat here. I didn't do this.
Right.
And you're kind of just running instead of relaxing. But again, if depends what you're looking to get out of your vacation. If you want to do a million things, go on those bigger ones. But yeah, I think we agree with you, Heath.
I agree with you, Heath. I think that sometimes the big, long, exciting ones can be, and I think it maybe also has to do with like just like society and like social media and like kind of like you said, like getting all the pictures, doing all the things, and like this idea that we have to prove to people we had fun, versus like if I go on a silly little Margaritaville cruise, like people are already going to think what they're going to think, but I know I had a blast, and like I know I did everything I wanted to do, and I don't have to like broadcast that. But I feel like if I'm going on a giant ship, I have to prove to you that I'm doing something cool at all times. But that also could just be me being, a 20-something-year-old who is worried about social media and what other people think. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting nervous about our 7-night one because we're also stopping in really cool places, and I think that there's like this expectation that it's going to be this fun, big, exciting endeavor, but which, I mean, there's no doubt that it's still going to be cool and exciting and fun, but I think there are doubts that it's not going to be as relaxing as I need it to be. And I think that when you cruise a lot, there's a level of I just want this to be a relaxing getaway versus I want this to be a go, do all, catch all.
Why don't we change that narrative right now?
For our 7-night?
Yeah.
No, we need to do everything.
See?
What do you mean change it? Absolutely not. It's a fun ship. I want to go do everything.
It is.
Yeah.
But we can build in time to relax.
No, there is no time to relax. The few sea days we have on this ship, I want to see the ship. I want to do everything there is to offer on that ship. I don't want to have any regrets. But even our silly little celebrity cruise that we took for 3 days, I was sad that we didn't get to see the ship. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just chronically anxious. I don't know.
Or maybe it depends if it's something new. Like if I'm going on the Oasis of the Seas every summer for the past 10 years, like of course it's a big fun ship, but like maybe it's not new and exciting every year.
That's true, I guess.
Whereas if you're going on a new big ship that you've never been on and everything's new, then you feel like you have to do it more.
Right. Like we went on the seashore. If we got back on the seashore, I wouldn't feel sad leaving it because we've been on it once.
Yeah.
You know, we got to do the
but even then, there's a lot we didn't even do.
I know. Don't get me started because I'll get emotional. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Heath. I think that there's a lot of pressure behind these big world's biggest weekends and things like that. Like maybe I want a world's medium weekend. Who knows?
And maybe I can only afford world's most medium weekend.
Yeah.
But with that, we will end out the episode here. Have a good weekend. I hope you're doing something fun. I hope you're traveling maybe, living out your summer. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. If you're listening, leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. And we'll see you guys next week.
Where to next?